What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the grand finals of GEST June. This is the third and final match, Get Hype, between Pacific.Badburn on the Scourge side and iZone.Gigabyte on the Sentinel side. Remember, this is GEST sponsored by Gigabyte, so I'm sure Gigabyte would love to see their team iZone take it home for victory, but few teams have looked as impressive as the two-time defending GMPGL champions, Badburn. And now sponsored by Pacific Esports, they look really, really strong. So both games have been sort of one-sided, to be frank. iZone dominated the first game, and then Badburn took it a little bit more slowly in the second game, but they still won quite convincingly. So I'm going to unpause and get right into the pick and ban analysis. It is the final countdown indeed, Paul. Let's go! Yeah, get hype! Anyway, so since I've been casting a lot of Pinoy and Southeast Asian Dota 1 replays, I don't think I'll fast forward to the pick and bans at 2x speed. I think I can analyze them at this point. Invoker, a common ban that we've seen in the past two games. Unfortunately, a lot of these games I've casted have been a lot of AP remix, but hopefully we can analyze these bans properly. And the Techies ban, you might think it's a joke, but no, Nico has just been tearing it up throughout the tournament with his Techies. Nico is the Badburn stand-in, but let me know in the comments if Nico actually is a full-time member of Pacific.Badburn after this tournament, so I don't know. Anyway, Nico has shown that he can play a variety of other heroes. He played a pretty impressive puck in the last game, always had solid initiation, even though he was given an extremely difficult lane to go against. He managed to get his farm, he managed to get his dagger, and just control a lot of space with the Dream Call and the Winning Rift, and just shut down a lot of the other teams. Lycanthrope and Templar Assassin are the next two bans. Templar Assassin played pretty well for iZone in the first game, so it's not surprising to see Badburn ban it in this game number 3, especially since there's, I think, $1,500 on the line, and this is an online tournament, one of the few online Dota 1 tournaments left that is not in China. So, Templar Assassin being the ban, not too surprised. Pretty survivable hero who can really tear it up in the mid game once she gets a Blink Dagger. And she's a monstrous chaser, and chasing is the name of the game. If you're not killing something, you're doing it wrong. Lycanthrope, I think we all get it at this point. I mean, Lycanthrope is just such a powerful hero in both Dota 1 and Dota 2, especially if you build a Necro book and you just push towers so damn fast. So, just predicting some of the next couple bans, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Naga Siren ban, or maybe one of the Tri-Lane bans, like an Earthshaker Ancient Apparition, or a Shadow Demon. That would really eliminate some of the supports, as very, very mature pictures are being posted in the chat, distracting me from my analysis. Also, Zhutan played a magnificent Xiao Fiend, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see if iZone decided to ban the Xiao Fiend so Zhutan could not get his hands on it. So, yeah, that's what I'm expecting in the next couple of picks and bans. Of course, there's other heroes like the Nature's Prophet, or Furion, or Prophet as he's called in this game, who is pretty common in both Dota 1 and Dota 2 for being banned. Bear, who's pretty much only banned in Dota 1. Chaos Knight, from time to time he sees some bans, but not so much anymore. He doesn't seem to win very much in this metagame because he takes quite a few items to get in a lot of farm, and I think the Pinoys like to roam with him more rather than farm with him, so that's probably why we don't see too much of farm for the Chaos Knight. Anyway, time is winding down. We see a Sand King banned by Badburn. I am confused by this ban. Yeah, if you had listened to my last commentary about the Sand King in the Tri-Lane being played by iZone, I mean, he won game 1 for iZone with the Sand King, but he was a Tri-Lane hero. He didn't really do too much, to be quite honest. I expect maybe a Panda ban coming out for iZone, so that Badburn cannot pick up the Panda themselves, so they can just really, really have an insane mid-game teamfight presence. But Sand King, I'm not really too sure why he's banned or picked in the Pinoy metagame. He doesn't seem to fulfill any role, to be precise. He's not a very strong tri-lane hero, and the Pinoys love to ride him in the tri-lanes. He's not a strong roamer, because his Burrow Strike is quite a short range, and it doesn't do the best amount of damage. He's a very good AoE level dependent hero who can dominate teamfights, but they don't give him levels, so I'm not really too sure why Sand King is the ban. Maybe it's designed to protect a Broodmother pick, but I really doubt that because I have not seen a Broodmother in a Pinoy game in quite a while. Earthshaker is the first pickup for Badburn, so that immediately indicates into an Ancient Apparition pick. Those two pair together so well. Ice Blast is just doing so much work for Badburn in the last game. Whenever it's off cooldown for a span of 5 minutes, they just got a kill with the Earthshaker and the Ancient Apparition, and just really, really melted down the opposing team. Or, to be precise, they froze the other team. Meanwhile, iZone, they decide, okay, we don't want the ancient apparition for ourselves. Let's get a different trail in here. Let's get the Shadow Demon and the Windrunner. So Windrunner is going to be handling that top lane, probably against a Queen of Pain if I know Badburn. And then I expect the next two picks to be ancient apparition and Queen of Pain to protect their tri lane, to protect their top lane and to protect their tri lane. So yeah, pretty standard picks thus far. Hopefully we can see some more interesting heroes. Omni Knight, another pick by Badburn, who we've seen being handled pretty well by Inma. But yeah, I think the Badburn squad likes to run him in a tri-lane. Inma is their best support player. He's been very impressive with Shadow Demon and Omni Knight and the Earthshaker. So we'll see how he runs in this way. But they already have their two tri-lane heroes, so I expect the last hero in the tri-lane to be some sort of hard carry to get a lot of the experience in the farm should the opponents fall. So I guess Omni Knight can solo top lane against the Windrunner, although he'll have quite a difficult time. It really comes down to the next couple picks. Will we see the Queen of Pain? iZone, they won't need to. They already have their top lane solo. And Queen of Pain is not really picked for the mid lane solo in the P9 metagame. Will we see a Panda? I'm pretty surprised to see no Panda being picked up by either side. Panda is such a dangerous hero. But one of the problems with him is that his ultimate has such a long cooldown, and these Pinoys, they love to take team fights every other second, literally. But in the past couple games, we haven't seen too much high aggression action. It's mostly in the laning phase. It's not really uncontrollable ganks. But iZone have been really making use of Smoker Deceit, so we're going to see a Dragon Knight being picked up to give them a little bit more takeability, so no Panda being picked up at all. And since it looks like these guys already have some of their solos, I don't expect Panda to be banned, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the ban shape up. Now, I expect iZone to probably respect ban the Shadow Fiend just because it was so annoying to deal with. I mean, Juton just played it masterfully in the last game. And Badburn squad can still put the Omni Knight in the top solo lane and put the Shadow Fiend in the mid lane. So they have their lanes pretty much set up for the Shadow Fiend. So that's what I'm expecting iZone to do. We see Badburn banning out the Panda. Even though the iZone squad already has a mid solo, I mean, Dragon Knight and Shadow Demon is a decent combination. We see Obsidian Destroyer ban. Are they going to pick into an anti-mage? I'm not really too sure what the Obsidian Destroyer ban is all about. I haven't seen too many Obsidian Destroyer picks nor bans in these past couple of games. Maybe it's just a throwaway ban. I'm not really too sure. But I guess you can sort of predict where... Actually, I can't really predict where iZone's going to pick into. So I'm not really too sure what the Obsidian Destroyer pick is preventing. I guess the most logical choice is an anti-mage, or maybe they want to pick up a bear so that the Obsidian Destroyer Astral or Arcane Orb does not go right through the armor. But that seems very unlikely for me. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking on Badburn. They're going to ban out the Solara. I expect a Morphling ban also. But I guess if they have to make a decision, do we ban the Shadow Fiend or the Morphling? Or they're going to ban the Shadow Fiend, so they're going to give up the Morphling to the Badburn squad. Yep, here comes the Morphling pick. One of the most mobile, one of the most survivable, one of the most annoying carries to deal with. Just so hard to gank. Once picks up the Liquid Sphere, he has so much mana to just spam waveform, farm like a beast. And I guess iZone, they were more threatened of Juton Shadow Fiend just downing the mid lane. And to be fair, Earthshaker really protected the Shadow Fiend first couple levels to allow him to win the lane. And we don't see too much Batrider picks to shut down the Shadow Fiend either. So we're going to see a Kunkka pickup by iZone. Now, Kunkka is a hero that we saw for a little bit as a trend in the past couple of GMPGL and a couple of the first GEST matches, also with Axe, but I'm not really too sure what the effectiveness of these two heroes are. Kunkka is a pretty decent tri-lane hero. He has the Tidebringer Splash, and of course he's a natural Lothar's Edge carrier, and the Pinoys love to pick Lothar's Edge carriers. But he's not super good at any one thing. He synergizes quite well with the Shadow Demon, to be fair. The disruption into the Torrent is just such a dangerous combination. Of course, the Torrent has the stun time of 1.5 seconds while the hero's in there, and then it follows up with a 2, 3, 4, 5 second slow. So that's pretty dangerous to look out for in a tri-lane, and plus it's an AoE stun. So you always gotta be careful of that. So he synergizes quite well with the Shadow Demon. More of my point about the Kunkka was because he was picked without the Shadow Demon in many cases, and when that happened, we just did not seem to work out at all. Meanwhile, Puck is the last hero for Badburn, so I guess we're going to see an Omni Knight mid-solo, Puck top-solo, Morphling being protected by Ancient Apparition, Earthshaker tri-lane on the bottom lane. And meanwhile, I guess we're going to see a tri-lane with the Shadow Demon, Kunkka, Dragon Knight in the mid lane, Windrunner in top lane. So who's going to be the last support for the iZone squad to protect the Kunkka, the tri-lane, or maybe they're going to decide to do a little bit more roaming action and maybe pick up some dual lane heroes. It's not like The bottom lane will be very, very aggressive for the Badburn squad. We're going to see the Queen of Pain, so Windrunner is going to be in the tri lane. Queen of Pain is going to be slowing the top lane, and it's not a PNI game unless there's a Queen of Pain in it, either in the pick or the ban stage. So let's get right into it. So I'm pretty excited to see how this will shape up. Of course, if it goes to the late game, Diablos' Morphling will be very dangerous to deal with, but Kunkka and followed up with the Dragon Knight support is no laughing matter. One of the good things about having an Omni Knight with a natural hard carry is Repel just really prevents the use of BKB. So Morphling will still likely go into the Lincoln Sphere, but still there's no natural Diffusal Blade carrier on the Scourge on the Sentinel side, so Repel will just do a number. So there's no... I'm going to be interested to see, of course we have the Demonic Purge, but that's a 50-second cooldown. Meanwhile, Repel has a pretty short cooldown. I think it's like 14 seconds, or maybe 16 seconds. I'm not too sure, I have to look it up. But we're going to see the tri-lane going to the top lane to shut down... It looks like they're predicting the Morphling tri-lane to be on the top lane. Usually we see the tri-lane versus tri-lane actions always in this bottom lane, protecting by the Sentinel, but I guess both teams have predicted it, so they're going to face each other's tri-lanes. Now this Kunkka Shadow Demon Windrunner tri-lane will be really annoying for the Morphling to deal with. He has pretty low base armor. Of course the splash is pure damage, so it won't do too much in regards to that. But still, he's a very short-range hero. He doesn't have too much HP if he switches some points into Morph to get a little bit more easier last hitting. But still, you can't underestimate the power of the offensive capabilities of the Scourge's tri-lane. So let's just take a little bit of time to introduce the players. We got Anma on the Windrunner, Kel on the Shadow Demon, Pol on the Kunkka, Ven, or Even, on the Dragon Knight, and YHN on the Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, on the Badburn squad, we have Nico playing that Puck, Jutan playing the Omni Knight in the mid-solo position, Inma playing the Earthshaker, he played a nice Earthshaker in the last game, Don playing the Ancient Apparition as standard, always has those Ice Blasts nicely done, and Diablos playing the Morphling, pretty solid hard carry player. Meanwhile, we have Omni Knight already passing in Dragon Knight, they're just going to hit each other creeps. This mid lane should theoretically go to the Dragon Knight in the early levels, just because he has Haria armor, but once Anya hits level 7 and has more mana to spam the Purification, and I don't expect this Anya to pick up a Soul Ring because it'll do Bottle Curry all the way, because of the two double courier action, but meanwhile, all the action is going to be focused in this top tri-line. Puck versus Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain should have the advantage just in terms of better attack animation, more last hitting damage, and just overall more HP to harass with, and Shadow Strike is a very annoying spell to deal with. But all the action should be going in this top lane, and it's pretty difficult to call. In terms of defensive capabilities, you have Waveform to get him out of trouble, you have Fissure to block off the opponents. In terms of pure all-around burst damage, we have the Torrent into the... Disruption into the Torrent combination, but it looks like Kel is going to be trapped inside the Fissure with the Cold Feet ticking up, and looks like Morphin gets a Shackle Shot, so Don's going to pick up the first blood, going to upgrade the couriers, and get those rolling right away. But one single mistake by the iZone squad will just mean a death for the Badburn side, so iZone has to play a little bit more carefully. They don't have as much survivability. They have a lot of innate harassment, but in terms of just burst spells, you can see that Kunkka is going to be in a lot of trouble, going to be frozen once more. Can they get Pole the last hit? Torrent's going to be casted, but it's going to whiff. Unfortunately, Morphling picks up the last hit. No, Don, the Ancient Apparition, picks up the last hit, and Adma's going to be in a lot of trouble. Will he take the fall? One more hit. Windrunner is not going to be casted. He's going to be able to get away. Does Earthshaker have enough mana for Fissure? No, he does not. No Salves for the Windrunner, so he's going to have to stay back. Sal being transferred by Kel to the Windrunner player. So already the tri-lane is going magnificently for Badburn. Even though Morphling has not been able to pick up too many creep kills, he's still firing quite well. Torrent's going to catch Morphling. No mana for Waveform. Power Shot whiffs. A little bit of miscommunication. Disruption going to be casted once more. Morph is already being worked on, but Pole picks up the last hit, but he is frozen. Unfortunately, he was just outside tower range, and Windrunner picks up the last hit. So already... Oh, so much action being casted on both sides. Fissure picks up the kill on Anma, who picks up the Flying Courier. But still, 3-2 in favor of the Badburn squad, and they also picked up the first blood. But still, the innate harassment of the iZone squad cannot be underestimated. It really takes a lot of mana for Badburn to go on the offensive. Fissure, of course, Earthshaker does not have the biggest base mana pool. Morphling really wants to save his mana pool so he can escape or get a for sure kill. Just the innate harassment of Tidebringer, of the Shadow Demon, and of the Windrunner's attack ranges will just be very, very difficult to deal with. You can see that the armor is already being turned on by the Morphling, just prevents a lot of innate pushing by the Tidebringer against that top tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, I mean, Knight has picked up the ball already, double damage, so he's doing some rune control instead of ball crowing. Dragon Knight has 16-1 CS, meanwhile, Omni Knight 21-3. So already, Omni Knight is dominating the lane a little bit earlier than I expected, and you can see Purification just being so annoying to deal with. Pure damage is just such a beast. And Omni Knight, pretty strong as a mid-solo hero. I mean, it's pretty difficult to kill him as a Shackle Shot manages to hit. Unfortunately, didn't latch onto Biabas and then go on the offensive. It's gonna get Kel the last hit. Yes, Biabas managed to pick up the last hit, but the Soul Catcher finally expires. Will Biabas die? A couple more hits. He's morphing his HP into strength. Looks like Don might be the casualty in this engagement. Now Earthshaker's going to try to escape. One more hit. Anma turned back around. Not too sure why. Maybe to bait out the Inma Earthshaker's death. Fissure manages to stun the pull as Kunkka misses a Torrent. Of course, Torrent, very unreliable spell unless you have a previous spell just to set it up. But Morphing's going to have to go back to the fountain and heal up. And Kunkka has picked up a lot of experience. So right now, even though kills are going in favor of the Badburn squad, Kunkka's getting a lot of levels, and the faster you level up that Titanbringer, the more powerful Kunkka becomes in lane. So right now, I'd say this lane is pretty even, just because Kunkka's going to get a lot of experience at this point in the game. Now, Morphing's going to stick around, he's just going to ship himself some consumables and get himself back in the lane. Meanwhile, is there a dive going on the puck? No, looks like Don canceled the TP. Queen of Pain is harassing that puck quite heavily. Level 4 for the puck. Meanwhile, level 5 for the Queen of Pain, dominating this lane even without the help of the Windrunner. Windrunner just decided, okay, I need some levels. Queen of Pain is dominating that mid lane. I just keep dying on the top lane. So I'm going to stick around right about here. And Shouting, of course, Disruption, one of its best uses is just to defend its allies by, you know, dodging fissures and cold feats and waveforms. So Shouting is a very, very strong defensive hero, and like I said earlier, Kunkka, once he gets enough levels, becomes a really, really annoying presence to deal with in lane. Don is going to cast a cold feat, but there's no follow-up fissure. Earthshaker is in the fountain. Meanwhile, just checking out this mid lane, Dragon Knight managed to hit level 6, casting a dragon form already, and looks like Jutan is going to be forced back, but it looks like the CS is a little bit even on both sides. Bile Crowing being transferred by the Dragon Knight, just constantly refueling his mana, and he's going to go on the offensive for the Omni Knight, cast Repel, so he won't be fire breath spammed, nor will he be hit by a Dragon Tail for about 5 seconds if it is level 1 Repel, which it looks like it might be. Yeah, it is level 1 Repel. So overall, this game is shaping up to be very interesting, and the top lane seems to be even at the most part. I mean, kills are going in favor of Badburn, but Morphling's not getting too much farm. Kunkka's going to leave the top lane. I thought he had it pretty good up there, and of course, whenever you Tidebringer harass, that's always a good thing, as looks like Don and Inma are going to transition to the mid lane to try to get a gank off the Dragon Knight, but Dragon Knight senses that there is a gank, going to try to check for a rune. And the rune is Illusion. Bottle Crowing up by the Scourge. Nicely done. Vulture uses Start Illusion rune. Puck is going to snicker to himself very, very sneakily as he managed to waste a lot of Dragon Knight's time. Now Dragon Knight is going to have to refuel his bottle the old-fashioned way by Bottle Crowing. Meanwhile, Omni Knight's going to take this time to farm up. Let's see what he decides to go for. Will he go for Arcane Boots to help his team out? Meanwhile, Torrent Disruption, not going to be able to kill the Morphling. He's going to wait for him offensively because Earthshaker is coming in from the backside. Will Earthshaker get a Fissure Block? Here comes Goldfeet on Kel. Kel is going to definitely take the fall. One more hit. Looks like Biabas managed to pick up the kill. Fissure blocking it off nicely to prevent a lot of reinforcements. Here comes Puck. Illusion Orb. Dream Coil catches 3 heroes. Queen Pain teleports in as well. Here comes the Torrent, going to catch the Earthshaker. Looks like Pole will escape, taking a lot of cold feet damage. Meanwhile, Puck is going to be the next one to follow Queen Pain with a nice teleportation scroll. Don is going to try to desperately escape from the midst of the action. Was there an X mark the spot? No, X does not have the longest range. At level 1, meanwhile, Biabas is harassing Anma. He's going to get power shotted back. And right now, this top lane is all chaos all the time, 24/7. Even though it's only been about 7.5 minutes. Meanwhile, it looks like there's going to be a little bit of harassment by the Omni Knight. He's just going to charge in and accomplish absolutely nothing. I'd rather he have stayed in the mid lane because I'm not really too sure what a low-level Omni Knight can do at this point in the game. He can run at you, but DGNR is not nearly max. Purification is going to be max spell, and of course he has 1 level in Repel, probably 1 point to Guardian Angel. So DGNR will not be slowing people up too heavily. And he went for the Arcane Boots, like I predicted, but still, if you want to go for early gank, Space Boots might be the best way to go. Just move faster to get that DGNR up. And looks like this middle tier 1 tower is going to take the fall. Dragon Knight and Queen of Pain are sieging on the offensive. Looks like Kel managed to pick up the last hit. Dragon Knight's going to be in a lot of trouble. iZone then managed to take the fall. Shadow Strike being casted on the Ancient Apparition. Ancient Apparition taking a lot of damage. Here comes the Guardian Angel. Ancient Apparition Magic Wands up 5-7 in favor of Badburn squad, but I think overall it might be favoring the iZone squad just because they pick up that early tower. Kunkka's getting decently farmed. He's getting a lot of experience, level 6, and Morphling is not getting too much farm whatsoever. Queen of Pain ganking this Puck. Puck managed to get a nice teleportation in, but unfortunately Puck is just not firing very well. So overall, I think it might just be even, but the goal advantage from that tower kill cannot be understated. Queen of Pain did a nice job baiting out the Illusion Orb. Can he get the Shadow Strike up on the Puck? A nice dodge by the Puck to get out of the way. Dodges the Shadow Strike as well. Phase Shift, such an annoying spell since it has no mana, and of course the cooldown is quite low. So Queen of Pain is going to be thwarted in her attempts, but looks like she's not too fussed about it. Dragonite is going to migrate to the bot lane to farm it up. He has the strength traits already. Meanwhile, Anma picked up Biabas. So right now everything is going in favor of iZone. Biabas is not farming well at all. He's only picked up 1 kill. 2 kills, but he's died twice as well. He's going to be able to pick up his Perseverance in about 40 gold, but by then he's just going to lose a lot of farm because of that death. Bleh. Meanwhile, sneakily, Jaw's theme sound is sounding in the background. Dun it, 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 Windrunner, you're gonna die. They're gonna trap. It's a trap as Windrunner takes Waveform to the face. As Kunkka is gonna be in a lot of trouble. He's gonna definitely die as well. A couple more hits. Will they get the right click on? Earthshaker does have enough mana for a Fissure, but they really want Biabas to pick up this kill to make up for some of his farm. Waveform comes in to clean it up, but Sentinel killed another tower in the meanwhile. Killed that bomb tier 1 tower. Dragonite and Queen of Pain are not waiting around to let Biabas farm up. They're just gonna keep pushing down towers. So the gold advantage is probably about 2.5k in advantage to the iZone squad, but 6-9 in favor of the Badburn squad. So meanwhile, Baocon is just going all the way. Dragonite has only died once. He has about 50 CS, so he's firing reasonably well. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain 40 CS, and she's been a decent number of ganks, getting a lot of assist gold and 1 kill. Shadow Demon is trying to pick up some levels. Level 6 Shadow Demon pretty early on would be very important. That Demonic Purge to shut down the repel is just so important, but looks like he's not going to get the levels he needs because Kunkka is going to teleport in. Will they set up a gank on the top lane? Biabas does not have enough mana for the waveform, but he does have the magic wand. Here comes the boat as well. Here comes the boat. It hits. Meanwhile, he wands up, but he does not have enough mana for waveform. He's morphing his HP into strength. Will he escape? He's so tanky with the waveform. And looks like the Torrent will be dodged, just easily done. Torrent, of course, extremely difficult to set up. Will the Courier die? 175 gold. Cold Feet is going to be casted to deter Windrunner away from that Courier. Cold Feet will not proc, but still did around 250 damage to that Windrunner, harassing herself nicely. And this tower, meanwhile, that Dragon Farm, whenever it's off cooldown, he's using it to push down towers. Puck is just having a miserable time. This seems like deja vu for Nico because his Puck in the last game just got his towers pushed so early on. So right now, iZone is slowly but surely taking a very, very nice gold lead, but it looks like Shadow Demon took himself a little bit out of position, got waveform, got hit by the tower. Inma picks up the last hit. Echo Slam being dropped once again, and Windrunner casted in the nick of time. Dawn picks up a kill on Pole, the Kunkka player, and Anma dies as well, so 3-0. 12-6 now. Looks like Badburn's getting a lot of the experience, even though the tower gold is going in favor of the iZone squad. So right now, I think it's a little bit in iZone's favor just because they took 3 towers. But I think the experience advantage is going to just climb back in favor of the Badburn squad, and you do not want to give Biabas any room to farm. He only has 40 CS in about 12 minutes, just miserable farm. But if he picks up Perseverance, he has more mana to spam Waveform, and he'll be extremely annoying to kill. Queen of Pain does get stunned, but it's just going to blink the heck back. Picks up an early point booster, going to go for that Aghanim Scepter. Rather than the early Lincoln Sphere, I don't really blame him. Only Cold Feet will be enough to proc that Aghanim Scepter, or that Lincoln Sphere. So it's not going to be too useful. Here comes the boat, managed to clean up Juton in the blink of an eye. Nice Tidebigger cleave to bring down Inma as well. Dawn is going to take the fall. It cleaves all the way to Biabas. Pole picks up another kill. Torrent is going to miss, but Dawn is going to be watchful. Dawn takes the fall as well. Nice cleanup by the iZone squad. 4-0 in that exchange. And will they push the top tier 1 tower? Right now, it's difficult to say. Puck is going to try to desperately get some experience on the bottom lane. Checking out the gold thus far, Puck is nowhere near close to his Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, Dragon Knight has 2k gold in the bank. Will he go for a fast Lothar's Edge, or will he pick up a Vanguard? He spent 1400 gold, so that's going to be for a Claymore to pick up a fast Lothar's Edge. So with that, you can go for more initiation, do a little bit more burst damage as he comes out of that Windwalk farm, and just give him some mobility to push a little bit more furiously into the opposing territory. Meanwhile, you can see the levels favoring iZone, so despite what I said. But meanwhile, is there going to be action on the mid lane? Dragon Knight took a little bit of damage, but Disruption managed to block away the Omni Knight, so he can't chase away with that DGen aura. Let's just check out the levels of that DGen aura really fast. I cannot. Omni Knight, go to creeps. Go to creeps. Go. Go, boy. Go. No, you're just going to run around for a bit, so I cannot check the level of that DGen aura. But I'll assume he has a couple points to repel because spells just make a huge amount of difference. Go to a creep. Omni Knight. What are you doing, man? You're killing me, man. You're killing me. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain has picked up a Ring of Health. Will he go for a Bloodstone? Or was that point booster just to give him some extra mana as he transitioned to Lincoln Sphere? I'm not a huge fan of Lincoln Sphere in this game, just because there's basically 0 targeted spells besides Cold Feet. So, yeah. Meanwhile, Puck casts a Dream Call. Anma is going to die once more. Anma is just not having a good time at all. 5-5, so scratch that. She's been dying a lot, but she's also getting a lot of kills. Here comes the Torrent. It'll whiff on Biabas. Will they get to deny? No. Sentinel picks up the last hit, but here comes the Ice Blast and the Echo Slam. They will get the kill on Pole, and unfortunately, Don picks up the last hit with the Shatter from the AA Ice Blast. Jutan or Biabas managed to pick up a lot of experience, and still he's farming abysmally. Only picked up 4 CS in that past 2 minutes, because he has been under so much pressure. Meanwhile, Puck is constantly forced back to his tower. So right now, everything is going in iZone's favor. As they're going to go gank for the Omni Knight. Managed to purge off that repel. Just nuked him down the blink of an eye. And this middle tower is going to die as well. So iZone just taking it to the opposing team. They don't want to go for team edits. They don't want to go for long draw chases. They just want your towers. And I can't blame them, because towers just give you such an early game advantage. And they don't want to go very late game against this Morphling. Meanwhile, will Morphling push this top tier 1 tower? No, it is still over, well over half HP. Looks like Queen of Pain has picked up the Perseverance with that point booster. I'm going to guess that she's going to build it into a Lincoln Sphere rather than a Bloodstone, but still, anything is possible in this stage of the game. It's way too early to call. Still, Biabas has 1200 gold, still about 2.1k away from finishing that Lincoln Sphere. And let's finish the Lincoln Sphere. He has a little bit more confidence in terms of pushing the lanes, but still, will he get it a little bit too late? I'm not sure, because iZone is just showing no fear. They know that they have the early game advantage. They're going to push towers, and H-Tower for sure is not level 11, so the cooldown on Ice Blast is still quite long. And Morphling is just not really a threat at this point in the game. He has Waveform, but that's pretty much it. That can just kill the Omni Knight. He has a decent amount of healing, but here comes the Smoke Gank to get Badburn back in the game. Will they bail out to get the initiation off the Dragon Knight? Here comes the Ice Blast on the Queen of Pain as well. Will they get the Dream Call? Yes! Both heroes die in the blink of an eye. Jutan picks up a double kill through the form of the Purification. Here comes the Torrent Boat combination. Gonna whiff everybody, but looks like Inma dove a little bit too deeply. Died in exchange. Pole picks up a kill by himself, and looks like Shadow is gonna take the fall. I think they were trying to save that kill for the Morphling with the Adaptive Strike, but meanwhile, Jutan picks up a triple kill. That's really going to give Omni Knight a lot of farm. He's going to be able to finish the mechanism relatively soon. And when he finishes the mechanism, I mean, no Ice Blast, so that healing will just go unimpaired. So that's going to be really annoying to deal with by the iZone squad. Dragon Knight, of course, not doing too much damage at this point in the game. 135 gold in the bank. Does he have any items on the courier? Yes, he has the Quarterstaff, he has the Lothar's Edge finished, so he'll be able to go a little bit more aggressively and push a little bit more. Maybe he's just going to solo push this bottom lane, just keep one person back all the time and then teleport away. Dragon Knight with the Lothar's Edge is just going to keep farming it up. Meanwhile, 12-17 in favor of Badburn. Right now, the gold graph would look very, very convincing in favor of iZone. Probably a 6k gold advantage, I'm not too sure. They have taken 5 towers, so maybe it won't be that drastic. But still, a very nice gold advantage to the iZone squad. But can they do this to get enough early game items to go for the base? Looks like the item that Queen of Pain wants is a Bloodstone indeed. Not sure how I feel about this. I mean, one of the best things about Bloodstone is that when you die, you give up a nice heal towards your opposing team, or towards your own team, as Puck blinks in, gonna get the shadow as well. But the Disruption just being so annoying, Queen of Pain is still silenced, but Disruption is ticking in. Looks like Queen of Pain will survive with a little bit of HP left. Here comes the Power Shot, going to be able to kill the puck in a couple more attacks. Here comes the Purification and the Repel, but unfortunately it does not stop that big Tidebringer slash. Ancient Apparition is going to be stunned by a Dragon Tail. Shackle Shot catching as well. Just chaining stuns left and right. iZone with a nice comeback. Kills are going back and forth, but towers hugely in favor of the iZone squad. Dragonite is going to defend that top tier 1 tower, and meanwhile they are going to provide some pressure on the mid lane. I don't think they'll be able to do too much damage for that middle tier 1 tower, middle tier 3 tower. But meanwhile, just to back to my point to the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain, at a certain point, she doesn't need too much mana regen. Once she gets a Hex, once she gets a Lincoln Sphere, that's pretty much all the mana regen she needs. She just needs a bigger mana pool to spam the Sonic Wave and stuff like that, and then her mana regen should be enough. So I'm not really too sure how I feel about the Bloodstone purchase, but it's not like Bloodstone is bad. We definitely see a resurgence. Westrack's picking it up all the time. Storm Spirit God trademarking that God Storm Spirit build in Dota 2. I haven't seen too many Bloodstones in the Southeast Asian Dota 1 scene, but still, first time for anything, gonna bottle up, and now she just has mana regen coming out of her ears. 6 charges already on that Bloodstone, just because of that's how many charges you get when you buy it. Dang. Never would have guessed, huh? Morphling gonna try to finish up his Lincoln Sphere, about 400 gold away from finishing that. So if they manage to kill him, here comes the Shackle Shot, stunning the Morphling nicely, getting the Sonic Wave. The Purge Torrent just melting the Morphling in the blink of an eye. So Morphling is gonna be very far away from that Lincoln Sphere now. About 750 gold away from finishing that Lincoln Sphere, so Morphling's just not having a fun time at all. And this seems to be a trend for Biabas. He's just not a very good tri-lane farmer. He's very aggressive with his skills. He tries to get a lot of kills, but just farm is just something to be desired. 73 CS in about 20 minutes. Maybe it's just because of the pressure that the other team is providing on him, but I haven't seen him farm too well in any of these games in the early stages of the game. Of course, once he gets his items and gets going and has a bit of free farm, he lasts it as well as anybody else, but right now, this metagame is not suitable for him as a tri-lane carry. Meanwhile, Kuka has picked up the Vanguard pretty close to that Lothar's Edge, I'd guess. Where are you, Courier? Mechanism being finished, going to be shipped off towards Anma, who has died a lot, but has picked up a lot of kills as well. So right now, map control clearly in favor of iZone. Will they go for the Roshan? No, they will not. They're just going to try to keep up the pressure, probably go for that top tier 2 tower, even though that tower is probably the least important tower in terms of map control. You know, I mean, has picked up that Mechanism. Puck has picked up the Blink Dagger, so that's going to solidify a little bit of their initiation. Looks like Ancient Apparition is just warding. Let's see how the Earthshaker is farming. Earthshaker about 1200 gold from finishing that Blink Dagger, so he'll be able to have it in about 2 team fights if he doesn't die. Here comes the Ice Blast. Will they get the initiation on the Dragonite? Yes, but unfortunately the Purification whiffs. Dragonite, is he going to get revealed? No, they just follow the Dream Call and cast the orb in that direction. Dragonite takes the fall, even despite the Lothar, even without detection, just following that Dream Call and just annoying the heck out of that Dragonite, killing him. So that's going to prevent a little bit more of the pushing, and now they definitely can't go for the Roshan without that Dragonite. Still 16-18, 5 tower advantage, or 4 tower advantage, since somehow in the midst of that, this top tier 1 tower has fallen. So Biabas is going to finish his Lincoln Sphere right about now, and now he's going to start building towards the damage. Will he finish the treads, or will he go for a late game Boots of Travel? Probably at this point go for a late game Boots of Travel. I often do this as well. If I get a hero who needs more items more than an upgrade on boots, I'll just save for a late game Boots of Travel. But meanwhile, Don's going to get initiated on. Unfortunately, they use the Purge Wrath of Battle Omnic and cast Repel, prevent that Purge damage from ticking in. And now, looks like iZone's going to retreat for a bit. Let's check out the iZone items. Bloodstone, of course, up on that Queen of Pain. Shoudian has the Urn of Shadows along with Arcane Boots. Pretty far for a Shadow Demon at this point in the game compared to other Pinoy games. Meanwhile, Kunkka still don't know what he has. BKB recipe for the Dragonite is going to be coming in very shortly. But 4 heroes going to be able to gank this Windrunner very easily. Windrunner is going to be a lot trouble. Fissure is going to block away from the Queen of Pain. Disruption being casted for the Windrunner. Will she be able to Windrun to escape? Here comes the Echo Slam. It's going to whiff. Puck is going to blink in. Will he get the Dream Coil? Dream Coil is going to cast it just for the Windrunner. Pretty short cooldown, 85 seconds, but Windrunner should die nonetheless. Jutan picks up the last hit with that Omni Knight. And meanwhile, Biabas senses blood. He wants to go after that Kunkka. And Kunkka is going to have to get the heck out. So overall, very, very aggressive game. 35 kills in about 22 minutes. About 1.5 kills per minute. 5 tier towers have died on the side of Scourge. Meanwhile, only 1 tower has been taken by the by the Scourge on the Sentinel side. Brain is a little bit slow today, I apologize. BKB recipe being picked up by the Dragon Knight is going to be able to finish that BKB in about 700 gold, or 650 rather. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain is shipping out her next item. It's going to be the bottle to refill it up. Koga has just not been farming well. Does he have any items still? Not too sure. I guess he hasn't been farming ever since those battles, but still, he's just going to keep farming it up. Probably go for a Lothar's Edge of his own. But still, they got to watch out for a gem being picked up at any time. Does anybody have enough gold for the gem? Earthshaker about 800 gold from finishing that Blink Dagger. No gem, just dust of appearance on that Earthshaker. You know, Omni Knight has 1400 gold in the bank. What item will he go for next? I'm not too sure what late game Omni Knights go for. Probably will build into a Hex. That seems the most logical choice. But still, I guess a Shiva's Guard wouldn't be too out of the question. Not too much, a decent amount of physical damage being thrown out, but not the greatest amount. They have to be worried about that Queen of Pain especially. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain has picked up another point booster. Now she's going to go for the Aghanim Scepter now that she has a lot of mana regen to spam that Sonic Wave. Aghanim Scepter seems like the smartest buy, but still, the lack of disables is a little bit concerning. No natural Hex carriers are building a Hex anytime soon. They have quite a few natural Hex carriers in the form of the Winter and the Queen of Pain, but they won't be able to finish that Hex anytime soon. Puck blinks in with another initiation. The coordination by Badburn is just really insane. Here comes the dust appearance. Kuka will take the fall immediately. Queen of Pain will shatter. Bottle, of course, not being useful at all because Ancient Apparition Ice Blast prevents that health regen. So Dawn picks up a kill on YHN, and meanwhile Inma picked up the kill on Pole. So slowly but surely, Badburn climbing their way just on the back of Ice Blast, Fissure, Puck. Ridiculously long-range combination, and iZone are getting the kills. They're climbing up often, 2 or 3 people at a time. It might be safety in numbers, but still, you don't want to be caught in a dream call. If you're gonna die, might as well limit your losses. Not that they expect to die, but still, it's something they gotta watch out for. But now Dragon Knight has a BKB, and now he can start building towards damage. He'll probably pick up an AC next to get a little bit tankier, and then slowly but surely start building towards the damage, maybe a Mjolnir or things like that. Queen of Pain, of course, had a lot of charges on her Bloodstone, so she was able to revive very, very quickly. Unfortunately, used half of them, so she had 8 charges on that Bloodstone. But she's going to be able to farm away slowly but surely towards that Aghanim Scepter. Looks like both teams are playing it a little bit more cautiously. They're just going to wait for that Dream Call to come back on cooldown, wait for iZone to make a bit of a mistake, and then just chain those disables as nicely as they've been doing in the past. Meanwhile, Kunkka has picked up the Lothar's Edge of his own. He was hiding it somewhere I could not see. But yeah, that is the item that makes the most sense. Now he's going to build towards either a Battle Fury or the Crystalist to give him a little bit more burst damage for that Kunkka. I don't really expect the Kunkka to go for BKB of his own, but still, stranger things have happened. It would make a lot of sense, but still, I mean, Vanguard is pretty much all a Kunkka needs. Queen of Pain and Dragon Knight should be the 2 primary focus targets by the Scourge side anyway. Meanwhile, Shadow Demon, Smoker Seats, he has picked up 2. But it looks like Badburn, they're not leaving out any heroes out of position. Biabas is just farming slowly but surely towards his next big item. It's going to be the Manta style. He has a Yasha recipe, so going to be able to pick up that Yasha very, very quickly. And soon the Manta style, and then Morphing just becomes annoying, pushing down towers very, very quickly left and right with those Morphing illusions. Sending Replicate with this team, so he'll always be there for a team fight. And now if iZone wanted to go for Roshan, it would be very, very difficult once Morphling picks up that Manta style. So it looks like iZone, they might want to go for it right about now. They see the ward nicely placed by Anma, and here comes the Smoker Seat. Did Badburn see the Smoker Seat? Surely they saw it, but it looks like Badburn are going to go for the Roshan rather than for a full-on smoke gank. Looks like Badburn are going to smoke up themselves. iZone, sorry, going to go for the Roshan rather than a full-on smoke gank. And here comes the Ice Blast. It's going to fully reveal the Roshan. And unfortunately, the Roshan has not dropped below half HP. Dragon Knight is below half HP. Windrunner, of course, they can't pop the mechanism to regen up. Ice Blast preventing them from doing so. Magic wanding and still in the midst of all that. Here comes the Dream Call and the Illusionary Orb. This is not the fight that iZone wanted to take, but they managed to immediately melt down Nico. Biabas picks up Kel in the midst of all that. Puck buys back and all that, and looks like Omni Knight might take the fall. Queen of Pain still gonna go on the offensive. Guardian Angel being casted once again, and Dragon Knight's gonna have to back out. Shadow Demon and Puck going to be the only casualties, but still Badburn lost a bit more gold in that exchange because the Puck did buy back. He comes to Biabas. Earthshaker picked up a Blink Dagger in the midst of all of that, and he picks up a kill as well. Puck is not going to be able to chase down this Dragonite, but unfortunately he decides to teleport out. What a mistake, and I'm not really too sure why he did that. I know he's going to get fissured and shattered. iZone making a couple of crucial mistakes right there. I'm not really too sure what they were thinking. Headshot being the call out by Play Cyber Games. Boom. Not really too sure what the Dragonite was thinking in terms of just teleporting out raw, even though there's an Earthshaker with Fissure and plenty of mana. And now Badburn going to pick up the Aegis Immortal for their Morphling, so that's going to be very, very annoying to deal with. Not going to be game breaking, but still it's going to give Badburn at least tier 2 towers. Probably the mid tier 1 tower and the bottom tier 1 tower, just because Morphin can dive in no fear and then replicate out with his team. He can push solo one lane, replicate out with his team, and then just push this tower, so either one of the towers will fall. So now Morphing will just become a huge nuisance to deal with at level 16, so Replicate has an extremely long duration at this point in the game. Meanwhile, Ancient Apparition, what items do you pick up? My bad for missing that Earthshaker Blink Dagger timing. I did not expect that he picked it up, but I guess he received a lot of farm in the midst of all of that downtime. And now Badburn, they're just picking and choosing their fights very carefully. And it's going to be up to iZone. One of the problems with iZone, they have very nice early games, and they have good smoke games in the late game, but their positioning in the mid game leaves a lot to be desired. They clump up to leave themselves open for 2 to 3 man Dream Calls, Fissures, Ice Blast, just going to be very annoying to deal with. They're not going to be able to catch up to this Morphling. They're going to just have to farm this way. Queen of Pain, 5 charges on a Bloodstone. How far away is she from that Aghanim Scepter? Probably about 1 more item. Yep, only that Staff of Wizardry has yet to be bought for the Queen of Pain. So she'll be able to spam that Sonic Wave once a little bit more frequently because she's about to hit that level 16 as well. Going to continue to bottle up, and I'm not really too sure what the point is anymore because he still has the Bloodstone. But I guess if you want fast pushing, Bottle Crow is still an option at this point in the game. Meanwhile, Winter has made little to no item progression, neither a Shadow Demon. And that Blink Dagger by Earthshaker completely unexpected on my part. Force Staff is the item by Omnionite. Smart item choice, even though I was expecting Hex or Shiva's Guard. But Force Staff just in terms of utility, in terms of pushing people away from the Dragon Tail and preventing Dragon Knight from chasing, in terms of just pushing people away from the Queen of Pains and the Purge by the Shadow Demon. Can't really think of better items. Push teammate away, repel them, and it's going to be really difficult to kill them. Will iZone make a Diffusal Blade? If they do make a Diffusal Blade, it'll be picked up by Kunkka. Has he picked up any items recently? He has not, I do not think, although Kunkka has been doing a nice job in terms of hiding his items away from me, even though I could guess what they were. Probably still going to be a crit, but still, you really want to get that Diffusal Blade just to shut down some of the Omninet repel damage. And a lot of magic damage is being produced by the iZone squad. Fire Breath, Sonic Wave, Shadow Strike, Scream of Pain, Power Shot. So much magic damage being thrown out by the iZone squad that Diffusal Blade would really behoove them. Nothing like a drink of water. To fortify you, still a very tense game. Grand Finals of GEST June, Game 3. It doesn't really get much more closer than this. iZone, they have a huge tower advantage. They've only lost 1 tower themselves, but still having lost the rush and having been behind in kills. Let's just check out the levels really fast. Level advantage firmly in favor of Badburn because they have more kills. So Earthshaker still getting slowly but surely more farm. I expect the next time he'll get might be a Ghost Scepter, even though there is a Queen of Pain on the other side, just because that seems to be standard Earthshaker item in these games. But still, I wouldn't be too surprised if he picks up a Point Booster to build for very late Aghanims. But most likely, this is all he needs anyway to be a very effective Earthshaker. Maybe level 16 for a higher level Echo Slam, always a good thing. But still, he's pretty much capped out of that. Just gonna keep boarding up. Omnionite checking out his gold, 500 gold in the bank. I think he just finished that Force Staff. Centaur's being picked up by the Badburn squad, so Badburn does not have any items in the banks. Smoker to see being popped once again. Did Badburn see it? No, they did not. No ward's going to be in range of that vision, but they are going to lose a tier 1 tower nonetheless. Here comes the illusion by the Morphling Replicate. Looks like Dragonite is going to pop the Dragon form. They want to go for a push on this middle lane, and Anma is dropping Centaurs. Unfortunately, it was revealed Dawn, so now they know that the iZone squad had Smoker to see. So they're going to kill that tier 1 tower, going to prevent this tier 3 tower from being taken down. Dragon Knight has the Hyperstone, so he's dishing out a lot of frost damage. It's just going to be very annoying to deal with. But still, that Dragon farm is probably about 2/3 done. It's almost halfway done. So now they have to make their move. Either they back up or they commit towards this tower. But Queen of Pain is going to be initiated on. Here comes the Ice Blast Dream Coil being casted once again. Queen of Pain falls once more. 46 seconds is the time she has before she respawns. And now Badburn is going to be on the aggressive iZone. He's just going to have to retreat out of there. Kunkka just stops the dead in his tracks. Not really too sure what he was thinking. Probably casting a Torrent. But here comes Omni Knight being sieged upon. Torrent going to be killing the the Kunkka or the Omni Knight as Morphling is going to replicate out and Mantis split. Gonna try to kill the Dragon Knight, but still BKB cannot be underestimated. Morphling is in danger of losing his agent, so Dragon Knight just throwing out way too much damage, but Anma manages to pick off Inma in the trees. You saw the Dragon Knight attack the Earthshaker in the midst of all that, so 2 for 1, and Queen of Pain has a much shorter respawn time because of that Bloodstone charges. So now they're going to go on the offensive. Unfortunately, Dragon Knight form is down. They did not use a boat. They just used Torrent, and Purge has a pretty short cooldown. Will they use the Focus Fire to kill that tower a little bit faster? Morphing is just going to wait for him in, do a lot of damage, and Dragon Knight is going to get stunned by a Cold Feet. What is duration on his ultimate? He has about a minute and a half before that Dragon Knight ultimate cools down. So now looks like iZone, they managed to take those 2 kills. They're going to go for the middle tier 3 tower. Can they get the Rex? I would not advise it. Earthshaker did not cast his ultimate in the midst of all that. Ice Blast, very short cooldown. And it looks like iZone, they know that they won a small victory, took that tier 3 tower in exchange for 2 kills and 1 Queen of Pain death. So they know that Earthshaker did not use his ultimate. They're just going to back up. Smart move by iZone, not pushing their advantage too hard. iZone, very aggressive team, but now they're making smart decision making. So right now, it's difficult to say who has the advantage. Morphling still has the agent, but he's not throwing out too much damage. Dragon Knight is still out DPSing him. Those Morphling clones still melt in the midst of a couple Tidebringer slashes and the Dragon Knight Elder Dragon farm. But here comes Puck to cast the silence. Queen of Pain going to be the primary target once again. Can they get the kill on the Queen of Pain? Meanwhile, Ven managed to pick up a kill on Jutan, the Omni Knight. So Omni Knight being dead will really hurt the Badburn squad in terms of keeping everybody alive. Morphling is going to get torrented. Can they go the kill on the Queen of Pain? Here comes the Shadow Strike. Queen of Pain just blinks out. They could not get the Sonic Wave up on the Puck, but Earthshaker blinks with a huge Echo Slam, and here comes Dragon Knight with a couple more hits on the Earthshaker. Managed to pick up another kill, 2 for 1 once again. Queen of Pain being the only death once again, and they're going to be able to take this middle racks because Dragon Knight still has a decent amount of time all left on his Elder Dragon farm. Dragon Knight just dishing out way too much damage, and Kunkka's torrents have been on point. So, wow. Did not expect this. I was expecting a Badburn comeback, but right now iZone looks to have full control. They're going to be able to take this tier 3 tower, and Disruption with those triple dragons is just going to do a lot of damage to those middle barracks. They're going to take out the range racks before they take out the melee racks. Dragon Knight taking a lot of damage. They have detection. Looks like the Shatter is going to go up on the DK. DK is going to couple more hits. Will Morphling be able to get the last hit? Will he be able to Lothar's Edge out? No, it looks like Nico managed to pick up the last hit. Edge Snappers is going to be the next one to fall. Kunkka is just going to try to kill 1 Rex at the very least, but you cannot even get that. Kunkka is going to be so close to dying. Shadow Demon is just going to have to get the heck out of there. Get out of there. As looks like Kunkka manages to Waiting Rift, Lothar's Edge, escape, going to be able to teleport out. So losing the Dragon Knight in exchange for a lot of damage on that tier 3 Rex. I think it's an okay trade. 2 for 2 in exchange for a lot of damage. But still, Morphling has not died. He has not lost the Aegis, and Lunar is going to be next one to fall. So now we see that iZone, they may have just overestimated their advantage. Earthshaker just doing a lot of stuns, and now Morphling is just going to start to get dangerous. 3,300 gold in the bank. Will he go for the Ethereal Blade? I would not advise it, but still, if you want to burst down the Queen of Pain, Ethereal Blade seems to be a solid option. I cannot guess what he'll go for. Maybe Boots of Travel, so he can teleport across the map and have an open item slot while he still has the Aegis. But the next Roshan is going to be very important. Queen of Pain has just been dying in the midst of all those fights. In the last engagement, we saw Sonic Wave just whiffing the puck. So Queen of Pain's got to step it up. Just got to not be caught out of position. 2 charges left on that Bloodstone, so it's not going to give too much of a heal even if she does die. And she has a pretty long respawn time, pretty standard respawn time at this point in the game.
Forces are under attack.
You know, just checking out the levels. Levels going in favor of Badburn. Level 20 Morphling, level 18 Puck. In the midst of all that, Gem being picked up by Jutan, the Omni Knight. So that's going to prevent a lot of the Lothar's Edge heroes from escaping. But keep in mind, Kunkka managed to escape all that. He's going to build towards that BKB. I like this choice. It's going to prevent the Dream Coil, going to prevent the Earthshaker from stunning, Cold from proccing. A solid choice. And Kunkka is just proving his worth in all these fights, just doing a lot of sustained damage. You cannot underestimate that Tidebringer Slash, man. Pure damage going right through Repel, just being really annoying to deal with. 200 pure damage in a huge AoE, getting a lot of residual damage in the midst of all these fights. You cannot underestimate it in this point in the game. And with that Lothar's Edge Slash coming in as well. Huge amounts of damage. Ethereal Blade is the item being picked up by the Morphling. So yeah, gonna continue to focus fire this Queen of Pain, most likely, and just prevent a lot of the residual DPS. Very few heroes can throw out so much damage during a team fight like the Queen of Pain, just because of that AoE 350 damage Scream of Pain nuke that's thrown out every couple of seconds, 6 seconds or so. Morphling is going to have to back the heck out. Assault Curious is the item being picked up by the Dragon Knight as X and Torrent manage to hit the puck. Will Nico escape? No, Nico gets Sonic Waved and he's going to be the first one to die. Dragon Knight form was just popped, so will they go on the offensive to get the kill? Crow is in a lot of danger. One more hit. They are going to get 175 gold for their whole team. Looks like Puck has bobbed back. Ancient Apparition will be the next one to fall. So slowly but surely, Badburn is going to get picked apart. Will iZone win this grand final? Still, it's too early to call, but right now they're going to be very aggressively pushing towards that middle barracks. The Ranger Axe did fall in the last push. My bad for not realizing that. But they are going to go on the offensive for this next push. Dream Coil will be cooling down. It is cooldown, so they'll be able to hold out for a little bit longer. But Dragon Knight is going to push in. I did not think he popped the BKB, so they are going to be able to pick off this middle barracks. Morphling, of course, has that burst damage, but not too much sustained attack damage. Dragon Knight is just going to get disrupted, going to cast the illusion, it's going to kill that middle barracks, and now they're going to back out, get map control back, push out the lanes, go for the Roshan, and then try to take the victory from there. But still, you cannot underestimate the burst damage power of a Morphling, and if right now, Badburn, they've been doing a nice job in terms of positioning, but right now iZone is just surprising the heck out of them. A lot of these engagements just initiating with the invisibility rune. Unfortunately, Juton, they did not kill Juton, so the Gem of True Sight is still alive. They can still catch up with the Lothar's Edge people and avoid the detection that way. But whenever Badburn clumps up, they are going to get destroyed just because of that Dragon Knight slowing everybody down. Boat Torrent just doing a huge amount of damage. And Boat, keep in mind, this late in the game has a 70-second cooldown. So BKB is going to be the next time being picked up by Kunkka. Let's check out Dragon Knight items. AC was the next time being fished. Ogre actually picked up by the Queen of Pain. Going to go for a BKB. I like this choice a lot more than a Lincoln Sphere, to be fair. Looks like Shaladin has picked up Blades of Alacrity. Going to build into Lakeum Diffusal Blade. I like that choice as well, but will he be able to farm it? That is going to be the question that is on everybody's mind. And once they get the Diffusal Blade to purge out the Repel, it's going to be really dangerous for the Badburn squad to initiate, but it looks like Anma's going to die once again. Will they get Purification? No! Anma's going to be able to retreat. A little bit of a misplaced chain stunning, but I think that might just be all they wanted. They pop another Smoker Deceit to run away. No, Ancient Apparition was never in that engagement in the first place, just the Ice Blast. You know, Morphling is just going to farm ever so closely towards the base of the opposing side, but still he has to be careful. Does he have buyback? He does have buyback. Items are just going to be so important. It looks like Ancient Apparition might build towards a late game Blade Mail. Blade Mail is going to seem likely. Puck probably just getting that point booster for the HP and mana, because I don't expect he'll be able to finish an Aghanim Scepter unless this game goes on for another 20 minutes, which, hey, it could be possible. This is the grand finals. I do not expect either team to forfeit until the Rax and the Frozen Throne die. So still, it's too difficult to call, but right now iZone have a nice advantage going into the later stages of the game. Blah. But Morphling is going to siege up on this middle barracks. Is their ward scouting it out? No, looks like iZone, they just sense it either way. Is there a ward? There is no ward, so they could not see the Badburn squad initiating into the Roche pit. But now, with the H9 person casting the Vortex and the Sentry Ward spotting it out, I think iZone realized that there is a Roshan engagement happening. But will they arrive too late? Morphling is going to be able to pick up this Aegis of the Immortal. And now Morphling can just go ape shit on everybody's ass. He'll be able to push, keep the Omni-Knight, replicate with his team. Boots of Travel might be his next item. That's what I'd guess. It's just so he can keep pushing it out. No, it looks like iZone, they realize, I'm not too sure if going after the Badburn squad right after they won the Roshan engagement, after they pick up a couple items, is the most prudent move. But looks like iZone might want to go on the aggressive anyway, not giving Morphling any more time to farm up any big items. I can see where their logic is coming from, but still, I'd like them to regroup a bit more. May get their BKB up on the Queen of Pain before they go on the offensive, because Queen of Pain has just been dying so often in these engagements. Helm of Dominator being picked up by the Dragonite, going to give him a lot of sustained DPS with the lifesteal in the midst of all that battle, but still, keep in mind that the lifesteal will not help you when you're on that Ancient Apparition ticker for that Ice Blast. Just such an annoying ultimate to deal with. Any big items being picked up recently? No, Shaolin still far away from the Diffuse Blade. Necrobook being picked up by the Windrunner. I think that's Necrobook level 1. Meanwhile, Morphling does not have enough items. Let's see, did he pick up any items? No, I do not see any major game-breaking items in the next battle, but Kunko does have his BKB, which he has not had in any of these team fights, so that might make a little bit of a difference, but it's not like Kunko's been dying. I think he only has, he's died 6 times, but it always seems like he's never dying. Looks like Morphling is gonna go for the Scotty. Gonna give him a lot of stats to change around with, gonna make his Ethereal Blade really annoying to deal with. So Scotty is going to be the item choice for the Morphling, but he won't be able to finish it until he gets a bit more farm. Still around 2k gold from finishing that full-on Scotty, Point Booster, and Over Venom. So actually 1700 gold away from finishing that Eye of Scotty. And he might be able to farm it with these waves being pushed out. iZone, will they wait a little bit too long? I think they should really get their farm up on the Queen of Pain. Did she get the BKB? Yes, she finished the BKB, so now iZone are going to go on the offensive. So with the BKB up on Queen of Pain, they have 3 BKB heroes, going to prevent a lot of magical damage and be able to fight a sustained team fight for quite a bit of damage. Not too sure about late game Necrobook. Going to give him some auras, but still, I think they're going to die way too fast towards the Earthshaker, Echo Slam, and all of this AoE damage being pumped out by the Badburn squad. Let's see how this team fight goes. Right now, I think Aegis might give Badburn the advantage, but still, the overall item differential on the 3 BKBs might be a little bit too difficult to overcome for Badburn against iZone. The Dragon's sieging the towers. It would be awesome if the Warcraft 3 towers would be frozen like in Warcraft 3 when you get the Froststorm Freezing Breath upgrade. But that would be a little bit overpowered. Just a little bit. And iZone, they popped their Dragonite form, but it's halfway over, and they're not going to be able to do too much damage towards this tier 3 tower. So will they back up? I would suggest that this Dragonite form is going to be expiring very soon. But they are going to continue. I'm not too sure about this choice by iZone. I think they have to back up. They're going to continue. I'm not sure about this choice, guys. I'm not sure about this choice. Dragonite taking so much damage, half HP before he pops the BKB, and he still couldn't attack in the midst of all that. Ethereal Blade proving to be such a broken item. Queen of Pain popped the BKB as well, gonna drain a lot of BKB time in the midst of all that. Badburn defending that, but I think it's more of iZone's mistakes and the 10-second BKB charge used by the Queen of Pain. And unfortunately, that's gonna be in that push, and now Morphing's gonna have more time to farm his Eye of Scotty. So, I think Badburn, they're holding out quite well, but will iZone continue to push? I'm not sure. No BKB will be up for the Queen of Pain just because it has an 85-second cooldown during the first charge. So, I don't think it will be up, and now Dragonite does not have his ultimate. It's going to be cooling down in a minute and a half. I do not like this choice by iZone. It looks like they're might just be continuing the pressure by rather they push the top tier 2 tower and get some more gold that way, rather than pushing into this tier 3 tower where they might lose a team fight. But BKB might be able to cool down. It will be cooling down right about now. As Dragonite mentioned, gets that Elder Dragon form. I guess the ultimate timers are a little bit skewed for Dragonite. Yeah, Dragonite ultimates are a little bit skewed. As Dragonite, it does have a 50-second cooldown during the minute-long duration. As the Dragonite is going to siege this middle top barracks. Will it fall? It's going to take a lot of damage. Yes, it is going to take the fall. Now Morph is going to teleport in, bitch, kill the Dragonite immediately. You might have enough money for buyback. Here comes the Omni Knight to chase after the opposing team. But it looks like the middle backs is all they wanted in that engagement. Inma managed to pick up a kill. Meanwhile, Liachan picked off Dawn, the Ancient Apparition, in the midst of all that. Queen of Pain with the BKB just going to teleport out. So trading a Dragonite for a barracks, always a trade you want to do. But still, not too sure about these ultimate cooldown timers anymore. They're a little bit misleading, and by a little bit, I mean they're completely misleading. I was just like, Dragonite ultimate should not have that long of a cooldown. I mean, they last 60 seconds and has 110-second cooldown, so it should only be down for 50 seconds. They should not be down for 90 seconds like the timers always indicate. but still, you do not want to doubt the Warcraft 3 timers. Does Shadow Demon have enough money for the Diffusal Blade? Just checking out the courier really fast. He does not have enough money for the Diffusal Blade. Nope. Queen of Pain picked up a kill, picks up a Staff of Wizardry. Might go for a Yule Scepter to give him a little bit more disables. Force Staff wouldn't be too bad of a choice either. Of course, Staff of Wizardry, one of the most deceptive items in the game, just because you can build so many things out of it. Might even be a Rod of Atos, but most likely not. Meanwhile, Kunkka did not die in that last team fight. Picked up the Broadsword, gonna go for that Crystallis to give him a bit more burst damage on that cleave, and just do a lot of damage that way. Meanwhile, Morphling did not die, picked up the Dragon Knight in the midst of all that, should have his Eye of Scotty. Yes, he finished the Eye of Scotty, so now you can be a little bit more aggressive. He still has the Aegis. Aegis will be timing out in about 3 or 4 minutes. Dragon Knight is just going to Lothar's Edge out, and I think with the Eye of Scotty and Morphling Aegis, they might want to go on the offensive, and that is indeed what Badburn is deciding to do. They are going to give up this top tier 2 tower in exchange for maybe the middle barracks, if they can push fast enough, but I don't think they can. I think iZone will be able to take this top tier 2 tower, while Badburn is going to go for this middle push. Iron Knight still has not made any item progression, neither has the Ancient Apparition, neither has the Puck. Earthshaker, no item progression either. It's just the Morphling giving them all the farm, which they should do at this point in the game. But still, is Morphling going to be enough? Can they get the magical Dream Coils that they've been waiting for? They did a nice job in the mid-game, keeping those Dream Coils. They're going to send the Ancient Apparition back towards the fountain, exchanging that tier 2 tower for that tier 2 tower in the mid lane, and they're going to be on the offensive for pushing in. Can they get the barracks? Here comes the Fissure blocking off the Dragon Knight. Can they get the Ice Blast? Going to prevent a lot of the reach in. Will he shatter? Oh, a couple more ticks and he might shatter. 12%. No, he's going to be able to escape just fine. But meanwhile, Queen of Pain with the BKB is going to take a lot of edge. Here comes Morphling. Soul Catcher going to be able to pick off the Shadow Demon in the midst of all that. And now Dragon Knight's going to prevent a lot of time from healing. But unfortunately, the Aegis does pop because the Sonic Wave managed to clean off that Morphling. But still, Badburn are going to keep on the offensive without the Shadow Demon and without the BKB up for the Queen of Pain for a little bit, as Puck with that gem revealing him, going to push away from that Dragon Knight, and Dragon Knight form is going to be cooling down. Can iZone defend their barracks? I'm not too sure. Fissure coming in, and Echo Slam is still there. Dragon Knight does he have buyback? Does he have buyback? He does have buyback, so you'll be able to buy back and just to get back in the fight. He does buy back, and here comes the Dragon Knight. Here comes the boat, going to stall for a little bit more time. Ancient Apparition does die. The boat whiffs on everybody here, but here comes the Puck. Will they pick off the Queen of Pain? Fissure stunning him in. Queen of Pain should be able to get out. Can they get the Chain Stones matched off perfectly? Here comes the Sonic Wave, just using it every 40 seconds. He's going to be able to blink out, but Morphling is just pumping out way too much damage. If they kill the Dragon Knight before he has enough money to buy back, this might be the end. Morphling just throwing out so much damage. I have Scotty Biabas just carrying their team to victory, but Dragon Knight was able to survive in the midst of all that. Yes, he was with the power of the Lothar's Edge, but keep in mind, Windrunner is pushing into them top tier 3 barracks. In the meanwhile, will iZone win with their huge advantage? They have a couple more racks to take. They have to take this bottom tier 3 barracks. Will Badburn managed to take the throne in the midst of all that? Looks like Dragon Knight is still alive. A couple more hits. He's going to keep surviving. This might go, but tier 3 towers, or the tier 4 towers, have died in the midst of all that. And looks like Morphling is going to go uncontested. The creeps have not even killed these middle tier 4 towers. It might be Badburn taking this game in an epic conclusion. Can they do it? They kill the Queen of Pain. They kill the Dragon Knight, and Badburn are going to win the game. Holy smokes, I cannot believe it. Will they kill the Morphling? He doesn't have he should have enough more for boots of travel. If they kill the Morphling, it might be that iZone can hold on. They kill the Omni Knight. Morphling is just doing too much damage to this World Tree. Why did he wait for him? Why are you not attacking the Drax? Why are you not killing the tree? Oh my god, Badburn are gonna be the victors of this incredible GEST final. I cannot believe it. Just a prolonged siege in is just receiving too much love by his teammates, or by himself. He's feeling himself, man, and I cannot blame him, as Earthshaker, Morphling, Biabas just pumping out way too much damage, recognizing we had the Aegis, we had the Ice Scotty. Go in, all in, just like in poker. Wow, what a game. I hope you all enjoyed that. I am hyped. You should all be too, as that was an incredible finish to an incredible game. Mega creeps, but still the power of the Morphling cannot be underestimated. And I think they didn't do enough focus fire. Kunkka just not... Actually, I don't know where iZone made the mistake. I guess... No, I can't really say that they made too many mistakes in the late game. I guess premature BKBs. That's always an embarrassing syndrome. But still, it's not like I can call them on mistakes. I think both teams played pretty well. I think iZone may have clumped up a little bit too much in the mid game. Badburn may have clumped up a little too much in the mid to late game. But still, in the late game, that's pretty much all you want in a Dota game. I cannot fault either team for playing the way they did. They both played brilliantly, and they made for an exciting grand final. So Badburn is your GST June Championships. And will they win GMPGL for the third time in a row? And will they hold on to the GST July next month? Hopefully you will keep watching. Thank you all for watching so much. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. I'll bring you 1 or 2 more Dota 1 games, and then a Dota 2 game, and then releasing all my other projects that I have planned in the beginning of July. So thank you all for watching. Please make sure to follow me on all my Facebook, stream, Twitter, YouTube, and thanks for watching. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. I'm gonna take a drink of water after that incredible game. So thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.